What's good, YouTube? I just want to start off with an apology. I've been out lately. I recently just graduated, so congratulations to me. I just graduated from high school, and ever since then, I just been, trying to figure out, confirm what I'm gonna be doing next. I just been busy with a lot of things, work, working out and stuff, cardio and all that. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started. The last time I tried to do multiple videos in the day, apparently the audio was taken out of the video, and I was thinking maybe I should just go back and re-record everything, but then at the same time it was just like, that's gonna be too much. So today we right here, this is an interesting video, by the way, because this is going to tell us what happened after Godzilla destroyed Ghidorah in King of the Monsters. Now, some of you may watch this guy, but his name is Dangerville. At least that's what the name of his channel is. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
In Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the Big G-Man took his place as the rightful ruler of the Titans, leading up to his epic battle with King Kong and Mechagodzilla. But the time and events between these two stories was never really brought out into the open with Godzilla vs. Kong. But deep within the extended lore of the Monsterverse, being the book and graphic novel prequels for the film, we were filled in on all the juicy tidbits of story that were left out in the movie. What happened after Godzilla killed Ghidorah and before he attacked the Apex facility will be told to you now. Kong was not mentioned in King of the Monsters other than a few quick Easter eggs, but in the lore we now know exactly what he was doing both during and after Monster Zero's assault on planet Earth. Amidst the alpha calls of both Ghidorah and Godzilla, Kong remained unfazed and unwilling to give any thoughts or concerns to the world outside of Skull Island. In his seclusion from the outside world, Kong grew and grew and grew, beanpoling all the way up to his well over 300-foot tall height seen in Godzilla vs. Kong. This is when the sad truth about Kong and his kind's presence on the island came out. For decades, Kong was thought to be the ruler and caretaker of Skull Island, maintaining natural balance and keeping everything in order. However, it was revealed that as Kong reached his new massive size, that the Kongs did not originate from Skull Island, and that in fact Kong was destroying the natural balance on the island more than actually protecting it. His massive size forced him to devour nearly all the giant squid on the island, and that was just one option for him to feast on. Slowly but surely, Kong was outgrowing the island and harming its natural order. His highly emotional brain made him despise most predators on the island, killing them for any reason at all. This put the balance in a tailspin over time, but it was nothing compared to the sad fate that the island of monsters was about to endure. King Ghidorah covered the planet in a massive storm, and while it never did reach Skull Island's location, it did smack head-on with the freak storm that naturally occurs around the island at all times. The Devil with Three Heads storm mutated and combined with the Skull Island storm, making it grow and become more unstable and hard to predict. Now the storms rested not over the ocean, but right off the coast of the island. Gia and the Iwi people witnessed this, and knew that a time of darkness was approaching and there was nothing they could do. Kingdom Kong, the graphic novel, then details what finally caused the destruction of Skull Island. Monarch's desire to learn more about the Hollow Earth and its entrance on Skull Island led to mankind doing, well, what it does best. Humanity! Shit, yeah! A giant hole was blown into the side of the mountain thought to be the entrance to the Hollow Earth. While they were correct, what also came from this mysterious location, no one was prepared for. Camazotz, the Titan of Darkness and Despair, a challenger to the Alpha role on Skull Island. This strange bat-like titan, that we will cover more on a future video, has this passive ability to generate darkness around him in order for the beast to feel more comfortable. The science of it is still unknown, but just like Ghidorah, the bat was able to somehow pull the massive storms enclosing Skull Island on land. In a massive battle between Kong, Camazotz, and mankind, the fate of Skull Island was sealed. Kong was able to smash Camazotz into smithereens, but the damage was already done. Camazotz had lured the everlasting storm to rest directly on top of Skull Island. Now covered in constant hurricane-like winds and heavy rains, Skull Island and all its life would slowly die out, forcing Monarch to build the biodome that we saw in Godzilla vs. Kong, sedating Kong while he slept to carry him to...
I'm not gonna lie, not everything is starting to make sense, you know? Everything is just starting to make sense. I was a little shocked though about you know, Kong not just destroying the natural balance. I was a little shocked on that, but other than that, everything is making sense for the most part.
To his new enclosure and giving one shot at reaching the Hollow Earth. This grand adventure was led by Nathan Lind and his brother. Upon breaching the vortex to the Hollow Earth, Nathan's brother and his crew lost all contact with Nathan and Monarch. Fearing the absolute worst, Nathan likely knew his brother was a dead man. Nathan lost his job and reputation, but what he really missed was his badass brother that he always admired. In a deleted scene from Godzilla vs. Kong, Nathan and the Hollow Earth explorers following Kong came across his brother's crashed plane. It was not nearly damaged enough to assure them that the crew were all killed, and while the film never mentions this, the lore allows Nathan and the fans to believe that maybe, just maybe, his brother could still be out there, somewhere in this strange new world. Kong stayed in the dome and everything remained calm, leading up to the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. At the end of King of the Monsters, we saw Godzilla roar in mighty triumph. The awakened Titans bowed to him, submitting to his rule, but not all of them decided to keep this peace treaty. Godzilla patrolled the planet, making sure all the Titans were in the best place possible for them to keep order and balance. After a few months, a couple Titans rebelled against Godzilla's rule. Scylla, the crustacean Titan, was not happy with staying in her resting place. She grew hungry and angry. Godzilla was quick to put the beast in its place, but Scylla was not the only troublemaker. Amulek, a freakish Titan, attacked fan-favorite Behemoth, attempting to claim the Amazon forest for its own. Luckily for Behemoth, Godzilla arrived just in time to toss Amulek around like a small child, putting the monster in its place and allowing Behemoth to go back to his role as healer of the jungles. Godzilla then grew tired. It had been months since he had taken a proper rest. But he can't sleep now. A distressed call of another Titan echoed into his mind. Nakika, an octopus-like Titan, had been trapped by a group of well-prepared human mercenaries. Using a giant electric net, the Titan was stuck, and her cries of pain and discomfort made Godzilla very angry. In a matter of minutes, Godzilla freed Nakika. The net was strong enough for a lesser Titan, but Godzilla is too mighty for any human games. These mercenaries actually thought they had a chance against Godzilla, but all they did was convince the G-Man that humans could never fully be trusted and that he would no longer ignore them. In a massive burst of blue light, the oil rig that the mercenaries called home went up in a ball of flames. That was the first time that Godzilla had purposefully killed humans since Monarch had began to study him, and it was the first step in leading this beast to assume the worst from humanity. After this battle, Godzilla was really starting to fatigue. He couldn't rest, but he traveled through a deep volcanic ocean tunnel. Here, the extreme conditions gave Godzilla the boost he needed as he drifted through the current. To Godzilla, this was like having a strong cup of coffee or an energy drink, and gave him just enough energy to claim a new lair from the Titan Tiamat. Now with a proper lair to rest and recover from a year full of battles, Godzilla went unseen by human eyes for over 3 years. For all that time, he regained his strength, all while staring at the skull of the Kong who once defeated him and kicked him from this lair. In his highly thoughtful brain, the G-Man couldn't control his emotions, his anger, his hate for this Kong who put him in his place so many years ago. This is why when Godzilla finally meets Kong, he is so vicious and angry. He fumed about his loss to Kong's ancestor for so long that when he finally got the chance, he took it all out on the poor ape. When Godzilla finally did reappear, was when he sensed mankind had begun a plot to overthrow him, which he took no chances with after his encounter with the mercenaries 3 years prior. That's all for the 2 stars of this series, but what about the humans from King of the Monsters? Mark Russell had taken over Serizawa's job over at Monarch, but the agency itself had taken a massive hit to its reputation and funding after Ghidorah's attack. Apex had begun to take advantage of the Titan emergence and the countless terrified humans on the planet. Knowing they could practically steal people's money due to the sheer amount of fear on the planet, The corrupt company began its attempt at global takeover. Madison Russell attempted to be normal after the horrible events she endured, but going to high school after battling a 400-foot tall three-headed death dragon was just not something she could ever feel comfortable with. There's not really any mention of any of the other human characters from King of the Monsters or any of the prior MonsterVerse films, so we can just imagine that they're out living their best lives. And that's the gist of it. Everything that the lore has described to us that happened after Godzilla defeated Ghidorah. All slimmed down in a nice little package for you guys. What was your favorite part? Comment down below. This was a big overview of the lore, but make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can get all the...
I was expecting something a little bit more juicy, but I guess there's not that much to throw at it. But man, I can't really say nothing about this video, mainly because I watched it, but I didn't watch the entire thing. Probably like half of it, so I can't give you guys the reaction that you was expecting. But hey, it is, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys thought of King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong down below, and I'll catch on to you guys later.